Good evening, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to continue the study of international logistics. My name is Felipe. I'd like to invite you to subscribe this channel. If you enjoyed the video, give us a like and don't forget, support this channel with donations, start the notifications, and share this video with your friends. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Thank you very much. Let us start. Add your commentary, make your question. Remember, every day new subject of international logistics and other themes. Thank you very much. Subscribe. Let us start. Experience has shown in the conference members are not always honest with each other. Often they will allow a shipper to state a lower rate or lesser classification of his shipment in order to pay lower charges than the conference tariffs a classification called for. A 1991 Trade Journal article said a Torrance, California-based fresh fruit exporter is suspected of having understated its cargo volumes in order to cut its freight bills. Serious bill of lading show lower numbers of containers than those indicated on other documents, such as export declarations and U.S. Department of Agriculture clearance certificates. Hence, confuse high outside policy agents to spot check the members. Honestly, it reduces the problems of understanding weights of others classifying cargo. This is called self-policy. When discussing membership of conference, one needs also ask, is the conference open or closed? Conferences serving U.S. ports must be open, meaning that they must let any line join. Closed conferences are more restrictive and not allow outsiders to join. They are much more effective in monopolizing the trades that they serve. This raises the issue of how strong the controls are that conference has over its member line. This varies year by year by year, and market by market. Some conferences exercise almost military control of the members and their members' practices, whereas in other conferences, almost no member is charging the conference rates. A general observation is that when demand for shipping space is high, all members charge the published rates and discipline is good. As the market declines, some member lines get angry and begin cutting rates using a procedure known as independent action. One of the difficult tasks confronting a shipper, a traffic manager, is to determine how disciplined the conference is at any one time. In the Pacific trades, conference as one new, then broke down in the early 1980s. A small number of conferences replaced them. These in turn were replaced by a super conference. Part of the rationale was that for container traffic, which was intermodal, the land bridges would give any carrier carrying at one port the ability to reach all ports. It was no longer essential, as in the 1920s or 1930s, to have a set of ships or companies serving the West Coast, or even in particular the Northwest Coast and the Southwest Coast, another set serving the Gulf Coast, and still others serving the South Atlantic and the North Atlantic. During the conference that reflected this grouping were made obsolete by the advent of containerization. A problem of growth in conference trade is that shippers want more ships in trade, more frequent sailing, whereas the line operators would prefer to move to longer vessels. Rationalization is a term also applied to conference, fit a shrinking or level market. Sometimes a conference member will be paid by other members to reduce or eliminate sailings. In 1990s, conference with some discipline agreed to reduce capacity, measured in terms of container slots. In some markets, there are also stabilization agreements between both conference and non-conference lines which aim at controlling competition. Carriers in similar container markets also can agree to charter container slots on each other's vessel. An example of this was 1988 agreement between US flag and Sweden flag carrier, both served between Charleston and Northern Europe. Sharing of terminal space in Charleston was also permitted by the agreement. Another example of nationalization of service in 1988 when Sea-Land US Ned Lloyd, the Netherlands, and PO Great Britain agreed to share space in terms of container use of 12 vessels in the North Atlantic market. Two Japanese lines entered into a similar agreement in June 1991 involving a tool of 21 container ships for trans-Pacific traders. Conference and competition. An old-age problem of ocean lines has been that their lucrative traffic comes in an uneven flow. Valuable Christmas merchandise moves in a few months of the summer and outcome. Desirable perishable fruits may have a brief season, and so on. The traditional problem is that some vessel operators, rather than serving a single market, continuously would follow the lucrative markets and be available only when there was great demand for service. This practice is known as skimming the cream. Note by the way that one-time shippers have objections to this practice. They benefit from having many vessels in port competition for their traffic. However, another group of shippers move goods in their flow. They want regular service and stable rates. The conference system serves their needs. In exchange, they pay higher rates, but they get regular service. In some of parts of the world, the shippers themselves to conference by contracts to be discussed later in the charter, and these contracts make it difficult, although they possible, for other non-conference were annoyed by a persistent competitor. Bom, vamos parar por aqui. We're going to end here and start tomorrow with another